First of all, I would like to pay homage to the Triple Gem, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Also would like to pay respect to both venerable speakers that joining with us today. We have most venerable Viriya Thammo, Bodkandal, live from New York City. And we also have venerable Mahapanyo, Tungtan Liu Sing Justin, live from California. And of course, this is the English program known as Buddhasasana program, which is conducted in the purpose of promoting Buddhism locally and internationally, especially to help people who do not understand Khmer to be able to have some understanding about Buddhism, about the Khmer culture, and some ritual practices which relate with Buddhism and Khmer culture to our younger generation, and also especially to the people around the world to get to know more about what the Buddha taught. So this program bring to you by the Cambodian Buddhist Monk Society in USA, which is presided over by Most Venerable Athimani Mangsang, the abbot of Wat Mani Sitaram in the state of Minnesota, USA. And today it is a great pleasure that we have come back again with another very interesting topic, and also very common topic that most of people always talk about, and especially among Buddhist people. The title of the topic is the Five Precepts, or some people call the Five Buddhist Precepts. In Pali term, it is usually expressed as a Panchasila. So as Buddhists, we always get familiar with this term, the Panchasila or the Five Precepts. But again, some people may not aware yet what are the Five Precepts and how important the Five Precepts to our daily life and also to society at large. So today we gonna have most venerable to provide more elaboration on the Five Precepts, its meaning, its benefit, and how to practice it, and what happens if we don't follow the Five Precepts or break the precept. Then of course, please stay tuned with us until the end, as we are going to discuss this for 1 hour duration. Well, without wasting any more time, let me start the first question with Venerable Viriya Thammo from New York City. Hello, Venerable. How have you been so far?
All right.
Yeah, thank you for joining with us. And I know that now in New York is 9 p.m., right?
Yeah.
So how is everything at your monastery?
Yes, most of the time it's quiet, and most of the time.
Is there still people coming?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. So, well, as you also very often, I think you always provide, deliver the Five Precepts to our people, especially the Buddhist people who come to, do ceremony, to participate in any programs at monastery. So I would like to know a bit about the term Panchasila. What is the meaning of that? And how do you define the term Panchasila, and what are they? Can they please describe?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to pay respect to Gems, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and let me respect for all of you and the monks, ladies, gentlemen around the world. Yeah, Panchasila is a Pali word. It is a combination of the words. It means that two words combine one word. So Pancha means five, and Sila basically means precept and principle. So five precepts or Panchasila means five principles or five precepts. This basically means for all sanction.
Yeah, can you count them? Bhante? What are those 5 precepts?
Yeah. One, do not kill any living beings. 2, do not steal any belongings of anyone. 3, do not commit adultery. 4, do not tell a lie. And 5, do not drink alcohol.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Bhante, for for sharing the terminology, also the basic meaning of what Panchasila means, and also you pointed out what are the 5 precepts, like to abstain, the intention to abstain from killing, and then to abstain from taking what is not given, or from stealing, to abandon sexual misconduct or committing adultery, and to refrain from telling lies, and finally to refrain from using intoxicated drinks, and so on. So these are basically the 5 Buddhist precepts that we Buddhists always observe. So let me move back to Venerable Justin Mahapanyo. Can you explain a little bit more about this term? I know that you are very good with the terminology. You may have different, terminologies when referring to the term Panchasila.
Okay. Well, let me try to do this properly this time instead of just taking that. Well, first and foremost, with the acme of my reverence to the Buddha's teaching, I prostrate myself with my 5 limbs to my deceased parents, Maha Upasaka Tanchukan and Upasaka Tengling, whom I considered as my first teachers, my gods, and my Brahmas, which is in accordance with the Buddha's teaching. Secondly, as prominent, I pay homage to the triple gem, the 3 jewels, which are the Buddha, Dhamma, and Araya Sangha. Thirdly, my profound respects to my Upasampada, Mahayunun, and Namasaka to all the most renderableness out there. Well, practically, it has been elucidated already. Pancha is 5, Sila is precept or principle, right? That is very straightforward. So those are the 2 terminologies that we translated, or according to my research, 2 terminologies added to 1. Okay, they both means from Sanskrit and Pali, both of them, those 2 languages. And the 5 precepts have it all been mentioned: it abstain from killing, abstain from stealing, abstain from sexual misconduct, abstain from lying, and abstains from intoxication. Abstains from killing means that it's not just killing human being. All insects, including mosquitoes. Some people say, well, mosquitoes, they bite you, they give you malaria, and so on and so forth. Yes, they do, but you don't need to kill them. Once you kill little things, it's a masses to big things. As I have done it myself when I was a lay person, I was thinking of the wrong way, right? I kill ants, I kill mice, I kill mosquitoes because I was thinking of myself because of the health issue. So if you look at it that way, that is quite selfish, because those living beings, they want to live as well, correct? They don't want to die. And In addition, they don't have long lives. If we can have benevolence and compassion to small living beings such as insects, that's how one started. Not to kill human beings, but once that's amassed, oh, it'll come easy, believe me. Next, it'll be fish, next, it'll be dogs, next, it'll be cows, and so on and so forth, human being. So that's what it means, abstaining from killing. It's not just human being, it's all insects. Okay. Any insects that you can see with naked eyes, you don't kill. People have asked, what happened then when you boil the water? There's germs in there, right? Well, the Buddha said we could not see it. In addition, that is for our health. If you were going to drink any, what's the terminology that I'm looking for? Bacteria, you'll be sick. You don't want to kill them, but you just cannot see them, right? However, you have to understand there's also time that we have to cogitate upon that topic as well. So if the mind saying that, no, I don't want to kill you, but yet I'm still taking care of myself in a proper way so I won't get sick. The Buddha allows that because you cannot see what's in the water. However, if you see what's in the water, you are not supposed to kill them. Okay, so that's the first precept. The second one is abstain from killing. Abstain from killing, abstain from stealing, meaning that you don't take things that do not belong to you. If they don't give you, verbally giving it to you, mentally giving it to you, or bodily giving it to you, you don't take them, period. Thirdly, abstain from sexual misconduct, meaning that you do not commit adultery. You don't commit adultery. You have your own spouse, a husband and a wife. You consummate it between your spouses. You don't go cheat on them. You don't go have, I lost my train of thought. You don't commit adultery, you don't cheat on them, you don't go have consummate with anyone's daughters, anyone's sons, anyone's husbands. Okay, period. Do not do any of those stuff. Not just a husband, even a husband and a wife. The Buddha said there is time, there is place that one must consummate. Okay, so that's the third one. The fourth one is no lying. No lying includes harsh speech, provoking, mocking, insinuating, cursing, anything that you say that might hurt others. So you don't do that. It's just not lying itself. Okay. So the last one, no intoxication, abstain from intoxication, meaning no alcohol, no illegal drugs, none of those stuff. So those are the 5 precepts.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Venerable, for elaborating each of the 5 precepts. As Venerable was already mentioning, I think it's quite clear for our listener to catch up some of the idea. What are the 5 precepts and how we should do. But again, let me move back to Venerable Viriyathamo. Can you explain why the 5 precepts is so important for us in living society? Can you give some example of how each precept play its important role in promoting our lifestyle to live happily and peacefully.
Thank you very much for asking me. And let me respect for you again. You said already that 5 precepts Panchasila is the basic for being good as a human being. So why are they good for being human? We understand that the life is only one. You have anything, you have the gold, you have silver, you have dollar, you have money, whatever you have, no matter how much you have, you cannot buy life. So life, the most important on earth, only one. And the life for any living being is the most important. So when you kill any life, you kill the most important on earth. And if you kill any small life, you may kill bigger, bigger, and bigger. You can kill human being, you can kill buffalo, cows, and elephants, whatever animal you can kill. And when you can kill, you are bloody in life. You feel guilty. You understand yourself that you can be criminal. You know that even you can hide from other people, but you know yourself that you're criminal. And you then never happy, never peaceful, and never full human being. If anyone know that you are criminal, no one can trust you. No one can go with you in a knife. So it's the qualities of being good person. It is the most important for human being not to kill. And it is not Buddha creative. It is the nature of being good, being happy, being harmonious, and being prosperous in the society, not only in the human society, but any society, animal society. If you do not kill animal love you. And other people also love you, they trust you, they can be friendly, they can be, do whatever we want. So that is the nature of being good, in not being good not to kill any living beings. And we can also understand that not to steal. So is there any society allow people to kill, to steal? Sorry. No, there's no any society allow people to steal anything. The constitution, the laws, the rule of the law, or any kinds of religion, they do not allow people to steal. So if you steal, it means that you are outside of the society. You are not good. you are bad, and people scare you. People cannot be trusted. You know, so there's the reality in our life, and not to commit adultery. Who want you to commit adultery? You have a wife, you have a husband. Who want to do that? No, no one want to do that. So if you commit adultery, you break your honesty. You have no more honesty, no more trust, and everything gone. Like the family have been built for a long time. The family have been prosperous, peaceful, very happy, very harmonious. Everything destroyed when you commit adultery. So we know that it's not in the sky. It is in our life. We see that. We see that in the society. So not to tell a lie. Who want people to tell a lie? No, no one. So when you tell a lie, if they do not know you know yourself that you tell a lie, then you are not happy. You are not peaceful. You are not calm. You are not a good person. You know that. And when they know, you have more problem. Very dangerous, very risky in the society. So not to take intoxicant. Yeah. And this one is uh, very popular now. And I think almost all people say that if you do not drink, you cannot make friends. You don't have friends if you do not drink. So it means that drinking is not good, but the bad thing becomes the reality in life, become common, and people take that very seriously in life. But however, we know that we know that it is very dangerous in life. People cannot try when you drink. People kill each other. We have a lot of problem in the family because of drinking. We have a lot of problem because of drinking on the road when they try. In many ways, we see that, but people now accept that we cannot stop it. They cannot stop it. So I think that because of the bad culture, because of education is not enough to cultivate, because of people misunderstand a lot what to live the life happily, peacefully, prosper continuously. So so the alcohol become water now. So however we I think that how can we do that? The monks teaching five precepts almost every day, and the monk also the example of other people. They do not have problem because of drinking alcohol, but people do not see that. One way that I can see that we can change, we can understand better. We have to create the goal for reduce that, and it should be from the monks, it should be from the temple, and should be from the people who have power. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Bhante, for sharing a lot of explanation in detail concerning with each of the five precepts, how important each precept to our life and also to the society. And when you were talking about that, it reminds me about, what is happening in the world right now, the killing things happening, not just in Burma, but, it's also continuously happens almost every country, if not in a larger scale, but in a smaller scale, or in a private sector or national sector, and also international sector. So we see that many powerful countries in the world now are trying to yield weapon to one another, just to be boastful about how strong and powerful weapon they do have in order to destroy the world. So that's why it brings back our attention to why the Buddha propagated this very first precept, how important this precepts to our life. What happened if human breaks this first precept? What happened to the world? As we can see that every day we live in fear, right? We're not totally secure. We live in fear because of harming, because of killing one another. Hate is happening, crime is happening, killing is happening everywhere and every day. And again, other four precepts as well, which relate to what is happening in the world right now. So let me move back to Venerable Mahapanyo. Maybe you could explain a little bit how important the five precepts, like why undertaking the five precepts is so important for us, and what happened if people break this five precepts? What happened to our life and to the world?
Well, the five precepts has been elucidated already, and the most important thing is that to train our mind to become a better person. If you don't kill, if you don't steal, if you don't commit adultery, no harsh speech, no intoxication, you'll have a better life. Simple as that. Simple as that. There's consequences. The first one, do not kill. What happened when you kill someone? The consequence of that is you will be going to jail, right? It depends on the crime. Simple as that. That consequences. I remember what I have read. The Buddha said that human beings are accountable for their own action. So if a person A commit a crime, a person B will not go to jail for him. A person A has to go to jail himself. It's that simple. There's always consequences. So it is important not to kill. If you don't want to be in jail, don't kill. Another thing is that I have seen quite often back in the motherland, people steal. What's the consequences of that? They will get beat up severely because people do not have compassion. When their things being stolen, they're not going to, handle that well, because they work very hard for their properties. And for them to go steal it, the consequences, you get beat up, right?
It's for the present life, right?
Pardon me?
That is for the present life, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, sexual misconduct, people who cheat on their spouse, I think the reason they cheat is because they're seeking for the thrill. And the consequences, of course, will come to the divorce and so on and so forth. So it is important to undertake all the five precepts. The fourth one, harsh speech, right? If some people, as I have written on my short discourses, and it's in my second book and continuing to reading it, I wrote it in English and then in Cambodian, but I'm going to translate it in Cambodian. No lying does not mean just go hop, right? I included insinuating, I including mocking, I including provoking. Okay, so in Cambodian I translated dot kê, right? Dot kê ta kê man che luôn ai, che luôn ai. Hai nâng bia ta kê che ha. That person will be scorcher. Ta kê che khlau chay, right? So I know this is the English program. I'm sneaking the mother tongue in there a little bit. So that's the consequences. You mock, you provoke, you insinuate to others. When someone be able to tolerate it, to have forbearance, it's okay. That person will burn himself. But when the person that's being provoked, mocked, insinuate, snap back, the truth will come out, and the person who provoked, who insinuate, who mocked, will be scorcher, big time. Okay. So the last one is intoxication. What if you drink? You drink too much. You go driving. What's the consequences? You get into a car accident, right? You come home, you beat up your wife, your children, and so on and so forth. That's why it is quite important to undertake and conform to the 5 precepts. The 5 precepts teach you to become a better person. It is quite prominent. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. But some people cannot handle it. They think it's so enjoyable to kill, to steal, to commit adultery, to lie, to mock others, to drink, and so on and so forth. So my response to that is that it is to teach the mind to become a better person. If you conform to those 5 precepts, you will become a better one in this lifetime and in the next lifetime. Am I on the third question yet? What was the third question? What is the results or something like that? I
think you already mentioned about, what happened if we break this precept, and specifically you pointed out about the present life, what we are doing right now if we don't follow the 5 precepts. If we go again the currents of the 5 precepts, we will immediately witness, experience the result of of that. For example, if you kill any living beings, what happened? Your mind also get defiled, and you also will regret later on birth, and you also will build more hatred. It's like like throwing hatred to one another. Like if you kill somebody, then they're gonna revenge you, and you also will be imprisoned, for example. But yeah, I want to turn to Venerable Viriyathamo about, maybe you can talk from the, point of view from the sutra, from the Buddha Sutra. I think he mentioned about, what happened if we break the 5 precepts, like for this life as well as for the life after, if one follow the 5 precepts, what happened? And if one breaks the 5 precepts, what happened for the next life? For example, this life, we see that some people think that karma is, like injustice, right? Karma has no justice. Some people are doing good, but what they get is only bad thing. They only see the present result, but they don't know the cause from the past. But actually, this is a matter of the previous karmas as well. That's why I'm mentioning this, and I'm raising this question to Venerable Riyatamo. If you can point out, like some people they live short life. No, why? So I think there must be a reason which relate to this 5 precepts.
Thank you again. Yeah, from the point of view of Buddhism, when you kill any living being, it means that you are making your life shorter, because karma, what you do, you get it. So if you kill any living being, your life also being killed. You kill someone, someone will kill you in the present time or next life. So this is the point of view of karma. Karma sakamhi, karma tiyeto, karma yoni, karma pantu, karma padesaranao, yang kamang resami. So it is who you are. If you kill any living being, you become criminal yourself. So this life and next life, you will receive it, the result, what you have done. So you have to be responsible for what you are doing. It means that not to kill if you have your life longer. But I think the people who have a short life, not because only killing of someone in the past. It is depend on the present also, I think, because if you do not have a good society, you do not live in a good society, your life too short. Because I think it is politics involved, it is the economic involved, and many other things in the present. So that's what I want to say. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pandey, for pointing out about that. And I think if I remember correctly, from the Jola Vipanga Sutta, the Buddha clearly differentiate, the result of karma, why people, have, different personalities. Some people, they say, live long life, some live short, and well, some are rich, some are poor, some more respected, some are not so respected, or so I just remember from that sutta. Maybe Venerable Hapanyo can add more onto that, but I just would like to say that so the Buddha pointed out the reasons behind all the things, not simply just like what we are witnessing things through our fleshly eye, and we assume things the way we see it, but we never see it to the root cause behind it. That's why what I'm talking right now, just want to point out that what we are doing right now, we will get that result. So in this lifetime, if we harm others, if we kill others, so we will be killed. If not in this life, but in the life after, we don't know, when that time the karmas will be ripened. So as a result of killing, we might also live a short life, That's why some people die young. And there must be a reason behind that, not just basically the present karma. And also like some people steal others things. So for next life, maybe they're gonna, be stolen of the properties, or can be, something wrong with their economic problems, with the capitals and so on. So, okay, Venerable Hapanyo, would you like to add on to that, from the sutra points of view?
Well, I have read that sutra quite some time ago. To be honest, I don't remember it, But yes, we have spoken about karma before, and I have elucidated a little bit briefly that some karma can occur in this lifetime as well, instead of carrying on. And I personally, this is according to my own experience. And the Buddha himself said already, don't believe in Tathagata, go out there and experience it yourself, which I have done. I believe in Christianity almost 15 years. I came back to Buddhism and trying to find out what's going on. I ordained it 3 times already. The first time as a samana in 1998, for just a short period of time back in the motherland. When I disrobed, I cried it like a baby. I wonder, why is that? I made a vow that if I were to be completed my task, I will take my high ordination. And I did take my high ordination in 2000. I said, that's done. I have done both tasks as a samanara to indemnify my mother, as a bhikkhu, indemnified my father. See, whatever I have done in the past, it carrying on to this lifetime. I said, I'm not going to ordain it again. My Arahanti, my Brahma, passed on in 2013. I ordained it again. Okay, so in regards of the question, if the karma or if you had commit anything from the past life, will that carry on to this lifetime? Such as stealing, such as killing, such as adultery, and so on and so forth, the 5 precepts. I believe that's coming on from the past life as well. To be a good person. Because again, this is my 3rd ordination, 2nd time as a samanara, 2nd time as a bhikkhu. And I'm still doing it. I told myself, no more ordaining. But yet I am doing it. So what I have done, good deeds from my antecedents life, is carrying on to this lifetime. So that's the same thing as killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, harsh speech, intoxication. I have seen so many people, even my relative, one of them drink a lot. He got that from his past life, obviously. So whatever happened in the past, it's carrying on to this lifetime. Even the killing, just like the Most Venerable had already mentioned it. And I also had mentioned it from my last live video as well. I killed crabs. I stabbed it. Okay. I was so afraid it was being so hot while boiling it. Okay. When I was a lay person, I killed that. What happened? I had this pain on the 3rd of February. I had this sharp pain in the back of my, underneath my shoulder blade. The doctor could not find out what's going on. They suspected to be kidney stone. They drawn my blood 3 times. They could not find anything. The conclusion is that because I killed the crab, stabbed it with the pointed knife, and the consequences, I get this pain in my back beyond one's imagination. So the bad karma that I had done in this lifetime, it has ripened in this lifetime. So that karma, according to the Buddha, will not occur to my next life. Hopefully there won't be in my next life.
Yeah, if it is paid off for this life, yeah.
Then
Otherwise, it will just continue to be paid off, you know, life after life. I mean, yeah.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
the Buddha himself,
Mhm.
you know, in Mahaparinibbana, 500 carts crossed the river, right?
Mhm.
During one of his past lives, he was a cowherd boy. He did not allow 500 cows or 500 oxes to drink the water. So it was not ripened until he had attained the enlightenment. However, due to his perfections that he had accumulated, in Cambodian, we call it Baramai. And again, I would like to elucidate this a little bit so that we understand the term Baramai. It's not in regards to the dark spirit and so on and so forth. Baramai, according to my research, it means that bon ដែលមនុស្សត្រូវបំពេញគុណជាតិ excuse me គុណជាតិនៃអំពើល្អដែលបុគ្គលត្រូវបំពេញ That's in Cambodian. You can have to excuse my Cambodian a little bit. So that's what Baramai means. It doesn't mean relate to any, you know, spiritual, so on and so forth, including myself. Before I doing the research, I was thinking, oh, that's dark spirit, so on and so forth. But after I have done my research, I go, oh, yes, that's what Baramai means. And Baramai is translated into English, it's perfection. Okay, so after he had attained enlightenment, it is ripened and so on and so forth. So it's just not that happens from this lifetime, it happens from the antecedent lifetime, it's carrying on. And in this lifetime, if it happens and it occurs, if it is ripened in this lifetime, it will not be carrying on to the next lifetime.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much for sharing about all this information. Now, let me turn to Venerable Virya Thamo. I think I still have 2 more questions and we will try to finish it on time. My question is, because we have been talking about, you know, the 5 precepts and the benefit, also the result of breaking the 5 precepts so far. And I would like to know, you know, somewhat of kind of, you know, antidotes to that. If we want to get rid of the, you know, like not to break this 5 precepts, what are the qualities that is, you know, in opposite of the 5 precepts, like, you know, if you want to not to kill, so what kind of quality that we should develop?
We can see that the people who can kill any living being before killing, they are angry, they hate, they dislike, they are not peaceful or calm. So the state of is not good. And we know that anyone know that anger, dislike, hatred, not good at all. And because of those, the people are not happy. We see that they are not happy at all, and we want to be happy. We want to live our life to be happy. So it's not happy. So it is the most important for all. We can see that anger, is a small thing. Hatred is a small thing. Dislike, a little thing. But when it becomes war, we know that it is a big thing. And the world can be changed. The country can be changed because of the war. But we understand that why the war happened, because of hatred, because of anger, because we dislike. They do not like each other, and they do not have love or compassion. So we want to be happy, we have to have love. We have to have compassion. We have to develop love and compassion. We have to develop being good person. And being good person do not kill any living being. We understand that in our life. So the teachings of Buddha is inside our life and outside our life also. Everything is involved. Everything is related to each other. So we want to have love. Other people want to have love, and any kinds of animals want to have love, and so that we can live with each other in the society happily and peacefully.
Yeah, so you're talking about the metta, right? Which is the opposite of panatipata, right? Yeah.
So is that the answer?
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing with that. You know, as we have been talking about the 5 precepts, so at the same time, the Buddha also mentioned the 5 antidotes to the 5 precepts, like if we want to refrain from killing, so we have to develop metta, as you have mentioned that because of hatred, because of dosa, that people are, courageous, to commit killing any other living beings. So if we develop metta, loving friendliness or loving kindness, so that we won't have the courage to kill others, even a small insect. So that is the truth, So let me move to Venerable Justin. Do you have anything else to add on to that? What are the other 4 antidotes to the 4 precepts?
Antidotes, in order to again, based on my personal experience, I do unto other like you would like to do unto you. Okay, killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, harsh speech, lying, and intoxication, all those 5 precepts. What if you kill someone or you kill a dog even? Would you like to be killed? Of course not. So that's how you developed the benevolence and compassion. Benevolence, metta. Some people use it, loving kindness, or translated as loving kindness. Personally, I like the word benevolence better than loving kindness. Anyway, karuna, compassion. In order to develop that, you have to look what you are doing, your conduct. If you kill, you steal, you commit adultery, you lie, intoxication, and so on and so forth. If you want people to do that to you, go ahead and do it. But I most definitely do not want anyone to kill me. Unfortunately, I had done it to crabs because during that time I believe in another religion. I said that's food, right? and again, they don't want to be killed. No one wants to be killed, and no one wants to have their property to be stolen. So that's how you developed it. Before you kill something, before you steal something, you need to think about it. What if someone does that to you? Would you be happy of doing that? Would you be happy of receiving that? Personally, no. I do not want to get killed by anyone. But if my karma, if I had done from my antecedents life, I cannot stop it, right? So for that, we have to understand the situation to develop the benevolence and compassion. Okay. And in order to do that, well, then this may be not related to the topic, but I believe that if one will comprehend the 3 marks of existence completely, one will accumulate benevolence and compassion. And what are the 3 marks of existence? Also known as the 3 characteristics of existence. If you knew that, fully comprehended, you will also accumulate benevolence and compassion. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your insight on, how we can, develop some qualities in conformity with the 5 precepts, as well as I remember in the Pali term, as Panatipata is the opposite with Metta, and then Dinatana with the Jaga, the charity. We have to develop more charity. So, instead of stealing, but we should perform charity, giving away to Dana. And also instead of Kamesu, we have to develop Satara Santosa, Satira Santosa, like having, contentedness with one's wife and one, spouse, something like that. And the 4th precept, telling lies, musawada. Instead of that, we have to practice sajja, truthfulness. And then the sura meraya, instead of consuming alcohol, which cause to lose mindfulness, we instead should practice mindfulness. Develop our mindfulness in order to be able to walk on the right paths, which lead to full liberation and so on. So anyway, thank you so much for both venerable speakers for sharing some thoughts about the 5 precepts. And again, this 5 precepts, it seems like very simple thing, and some people might say it is very basic principle. It's not so important, it's not so interesting, but actually it is so important. I think it's the basic foundation of all wholesome deed, the basic foundation which leads to achieve the spiritual development, which lead to achieve the higher mental development, bhavana. Without the basic morality or virtues, we can never achieve higher concentration or higher stage of mental development. And that's why in terms of human rights, a lot of people or the world have acknowledged that Buddhist 5 precepts plays important role in promoting peace and harmony in society. Like it is not very different from what has been constituted in the human law or the human rights, like Panatipata is like the right to live, the right to property, the right to fidelity, and so on. That's just basically, when we compare the 5 precepts to the human rights, and we don't have much time to discuss about that, but I think next week or the weeks to come, we will continue on to talk about the 5 precepts, like bringing out one each precept, and we will break it into detail, about the each precept, how it's important, what happened if we break it, and we can relate it with the real life social situation which is happening in the world right now. I think this is so quite important for us to understand it. And as we see that in a ceremony, of Buddhism, especially conduct at the temple, or let's say in any Buddhist rites and ritual, we never miss to undertake the 5 precepts. If we all remember, as a Buddhist monk, whatever ceremony we have, we always people always ask for deliver the 5 precepts. So that shows how the 5 precepts, important for our life and for the society. And that is why the Buddha focus on delivering this, method or factor, so that people can hold it near to their daily basis, practice that on a daily basis. Otherwise, a lot of war, a lot of crime and killing, happening. A lot of insecurity will happen in society when people, commit killing, harming one another, stealing others' property, robbery. A lot of things can happen. The whole society will become a mess. The whole world will be blind by their greed, by their desire, by their hatred. That is why 5 precepts play this important role in promoting peace in our life. Let alone we will discuss this in the week to come. I hope that through our 1 hour discussion today, hopefully our audience can learn something which is important and also which is applicable to daily life. And stay tuned with us for next week as well. We will continue discussing about the 5 precepts as well. So again, thank you so much, both venerable speaker, Venerable Dhamma Video from Wat Chotanaram, New York City, and Venerable Tung Tan Liu Sing Justin Mahapanyo from California for sharing and contributing the knowledge of Dhamma with us today concerning with the 5 Buddhist precepts. So again, I also would like to thank to everyone who have been following our show. And finally, I would like to accumulate merit done through this gift of Dhamma to all living beings in the whole universe. May all beings be happy, be well, be prosperous, and especially be liberated from physical suffering and mental suffering. May the whole world be peaceful. May the world be harmonious. May all beings be happy and be well. So, Namo Tane. Goodbye.